mindset of problem solving. MIT Manipal, a constituent unit of Manipal Academy of Higher Education, which has been awarded the status of Institute of Eminence by Ministry of Human Resource Development, is one of the 40 nodal centers nationwide. It is a pleasure to inform everyone who are present on this occasion that MIT is successfully hosting this event as nodal center for the third time. In 2017, MIT hosted 346 students in 46 teams, rigorously racked their brains to solve problem statements offered by UGC with 100 plus experienced IT professionals as mentors hailing from all over India. Once again, in 2019, MIT saw 36 teams with 216 total participants working on 6 problem statements given by companies such as BEML, Mahindra Electric, Foundry Cluster Belgaum, mentored by 16 professionals from industry and academia. And today, as we are headed towards the inaugural ceremony of grand finale of 4th software edition of Smart India Hackathon, I'm pleased to inform you all that MIT as a nodal center is hosting 23 teams with a total of 140 plus students for the first time in virtual mode. For smooth conduction of the event, SIH 2020 is using Slack tool as a primary method of communication and sharing. It has workspaces provided to all the nodal centers to communicate with all the stakeholders by public and private channels. Along with this, the mentoring sessions and evaluation rounds will be happening using Microsoft Teams meetings. As a team, 12 faculty coordinators and 21 student coordinators involved in the conduction of hackathon, along with IT coordinators and social media coordinators, which is headed by Dr. Vidya Rao and Dr. Sucheta Kolekar, the faculty of MIT Manipal. And to begin this inaugural ceremony of grand finale of Smart India Hackathon 2020 with an auspicious touch, may I request Dr. Vidya Rao to render the invocation.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय कोटि सूर्य समप्रभा कोटि सूर्य समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा.
Thank you, Dr. Vidya Rao. For this inaugural ceremony, we have with us online the dignitaries whom I would like to introduce. Dr. Ashish Nayan, Deputy Manager, Strategy and Innovation, Deloitte India, as the chief guest. The guest of honor, Dr. Narayan Sabahit, Registrar, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Manipal. Guest of honor, Dr. U.C. Niranjan, Director of Research, Manipal.net Private Limited, Manipal. Dr. D. Srikant Rao, Director, MIT Manipal. Dr. B.H.V. Pai, Joint Director, MIT Manipal. Dr. Somashekara Bhatt, Associate Director, Development, MIT Manipal. The delegates and evaluators from BEML Limited, NCR Corporation Private Limited, Bharat Electronics Limited, academia, and also the proud alumni of MIT Manipal. Dr. Sucheta Kolekar, Assistant Professor, Department of INCT and single point of contact, Smart India Hackathon 2020 at MIT, and the members of the organizing committee from MIT Manipal Nodal Center. To formally inaugurate the Smart India Hackathon 2020 at the Nodal Center, MIT Manipal, we seek the permission from the chief guest, Dr. Ashish Nayan, and in the gracious presence of all the dignitaries, we light this lamp of hope and inspiration in the digital mode.
Best wishes to everybody. Thank you so much. Sincerely, sirs would have loved being there, but the pandemic does not do us apart. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you, one and all. It is a pleasure to have amongst us Dr. D. Shrikant Rao, the Director, MIT Manipal. Dr. Rao, an alumnus of MIT Manipal, obtained his B degree in mechanical engineering from University of Mysore, MTech and PhD from Manipal University. After graduating from MIT Manipal, he worked with Messrs. Hindustan Door Oliver Limited, a Stanford oil subsidiary then, for 5 years of useful industrial exposure. Joining Manipal as a lecturer in the year 1989, he has served the institution in various capacities, such as Associate Director, Industrial Liaison and Placements, Joint Director, MIT Manipal, Founding Registrar, Manipal University, Jaipur, Director, Admissions, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Manipal. With this brief introduction, I request Dr. Shrikant Rao to formally welcome the participants and dignitaries.
Namaskar and good morning to all of you. It's indeed a very important occasion for all of us, especially to the young minds of the country, and for this excellent initiative that the Government of India has initiated way back in 2017. Chief guest of today's function, Dr. Ashish Nayan. Guests of honor, Dr. Narayan Sabait and Dr. Niranjan UC, my joint director, Dr. BHV Pai, all the participants, mentors, industry partners, and invitees. It is our privilege as well as pleasure at MIT Manipal to be the host as the nodal center of this very important and huge initiative of the Government of India for providing young minds a platform to showcase their skills in providing solutions to the problems of the general population, community, and industry. Ever since Smart India Hackathon was kick-started way back in 2017, the three earlier editions have hugely been successful. There were around 10 lakh students, 7,218 institutes, 256 organizations, 1,886 problem statements, 5,635 selected idea solutions that were generated in the last three editions. SIH brings together the students, institutes, PSUs, ministries, and private organizations in one single platform. It's indeed an opportunity for students to mingle very closely with industry experts and also the governmental agencies to understand and come up with solutions in their own creative manner. The key areas that the hackathon have been looking at is smart communication, healthcare and biomedical devices, agriculture and rural development, smart vehicles, food processing, robotics and drones, waste management, clean water, renewable energy, security and surveillance, hospitality, financial services, entertainment and tourism, retail, etc. MIT has been part of this initiative for the third year. We were very much in the thick of organizing it in the conventional mode, and however, this time round it is in the virtual mode. The challenges are different, But however, I think we all have to accept the COVID pandemic and look at how we need to turn around and see that the life goes on. On this occasion, we have with us a very young luminary and achiever on his own right, Dr. Ashish Nayan, Deputy Manager, Strategy and Innovation, Deloitte Shared Services India, former member of Niti Aayog. He has completed his BTech from MIT Manipal in 2012 and integrated PhD from NTU Singapore. We look forward for a short pep talk to motivate all the participants of SIH today. A most hearty welcome to you, Dr. Ashish Nayan, to this very important occasion.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We also have with us our own Dr. Narayan Sabait, Registrar MAHE, and Dr. Niranjan UC, Director Research, Manipal.net, Chairman, IEEE Local Chapter, as guests of honor. Both our guests are also excellent academicians and researchers par excellence in the civil and biomedical engineering discipline. We are very privileged to have both of you for the inaugural function today. Warm welcome to you, sirs. I wish to also welcome the all important persons of the day, the participants. Dear participants, I am sure that you would be up to it in this virtual mode, the challenges of connecting with your teammates and also the industry partners and mentors. The way in which we need to look at it is trying to be creative, and that is the very reason why this hackathon is being conducted. And I'm sure that our volunteers, the student volunteers as well as the faculty volunteers, will help you and assist you in ensuring that there is going to be a very smooth hackathon process for you. And at this outset, I wish you all the best for the hackathon that follows, and welcome each one of you to this inaugural function. It is, you are all young minds, abound with energy and creativity. I wish you the very best and welcome you. It's also my privilege to welcome all the judges, executives, and mentors from industry, PSUs, and ministries who are present here, and also welcome all the persons who are viewing it through the YouTube, which is streamed live, and also to all of our team MIT who have been working very hard for last many weeks to ensure that there is all activities are going to be conducted very smoothly. I also welcome each member of our faculty team and the student team who are coordinating it and organizing it, and wish them all the best. So thank you for having me and also listening to me on this welcome address. But I'm sure that you will all have a great time, and this initiative of the government is to be applauded and supported to the hilt. Thank you one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for your welcome address. And on this occasion, we also extend a heartily welcome to Dr. Shrikant. Respected dignitaries and dear participants, for today's inaugural ceremony, we are delighted to have the presence of Dr. Narayan Sabait, Registrar, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Manipal, and Dr. Niranjan UC, the Director of Research, Manipal.net Private Limited, as the guest of honors of this inaugural function. I request the Assistant Director Development, MIT Manipal, Dr. Mohammad Zubair, to introduce the guests of honor.
Very good morning to one and all of you. It's my great privilege to introduce the guest of honor for today's program. I'm very excited to introduce you to our beloved Registrar, MAHE Manipal, Dr. Narayan Sabait. Dr. Sabait obtained his PhD in Geotechnical Engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, in the year 1994. He has over 27 years of experience in teaching, research, consultancy, and administration. In his earlier tenure as Director Admissions, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, he has immensely contributed in strengthening the admission process. He also coordinated BTech online common counseling for Manipal group of institutions. Dr. Sabahit was the joint director of MIT Manipal for a period of 1 year from May 2008 to May 2009. Prior to that, he was the head of the Department of Civil Engineering, MIT Manipal, for a period of 4 years from the year April 2004 to April 2008. His other notable contributions are curriculum development, implementation of ISO certification, and NBA accreditation for both UG and PG programs. Dr. Sabahit is a reviewer for Indian Geotechnical Journal. He's a life member of various professional societies like Indian Geotechnical Society, Indian Society for Technical Education, Institution of Engineers, and Fellow of Indian Association of Structural Engineering. On behalf of MIT Manipal, I warmly welcome you to the inauguration of SIH 2020, sir. We also have with us today Dr. UC Niranjan. Dr. UC Niranjan obtained his PhD in electrical science from the prestigious Indian Institute of Science in 1993. He was a visiting researcher at Parama Biomonitoring Institute, Fukuoka, Japan in the year 1994 and also in the year 1996. He is the past secretary of BMESI and chair of IEEE Mangalore subsection. He was also the recipient of IEEE EMBS Best Student Paper Award in the year 1992 in Paris. Also, a Young Achiever Paper Award in ICSE, Arizona in 1996. He has also received Distinguished Alumnus Award of NITK Surathkal in the year 2019. He is an adjunct professor at Electronic and Communication Department of MIT Manipal. Dr. UC Niranjan is currently holding the position of Director of Research and Training at Manipal.net Private Limited. Yes, sir, a very warm welcome to you to this program on behalf of MIT Manipal.
Thank you, Dr. Zubair, for this wonderful introduction of the guest of honor. With that, may I now request the guest of honor, Dr. Narayan Sabahit, Registrar Mahe Manipal, to deliver the speech.
Very good morning to all of you. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad Zubair, for giving a nice introduction. Chief guest of today's function, Dr. Ashish Nayan, is a Deputy Manager, Strategy and Innovation, Deloitte, India. Guest of honor, Dr. UC Niranjan, he is the Director of Research, Manipal.net Limited, Private Limited, Manipal. Dr. Shrikant Rao, Director, MIT. Officials of MIT Manipal, participants, judges, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very, nowadays a new experience that, come online and, they give the speech. Because in the conventional mode, all our, the dignitaries generally with us, audience will be there. So here it is not like that, all are the audiences. So that is only the difference. So nevertheless, we started this Smart India Hackathon, Government of India initiative in 2017, and this is the 4th edition. The idea of starting this Smart India Hackathon is to look for the pressing problems of India and how industry and academia coming together and solve these problems. So this is a very unique in the sense, generally we see that the academia and industry, they work in isolation. That was always the complaint. But here the industry gives the problem. The problem statement is given by them. Industry problems are generally addressed to the community, because they have to be more and more innovative. Otherwise, it's difficult to compete in the market. So their problems are more realistic. And these problems, when it is solved by, giving different ideas from the students, particularly the engineering students, how, this problem can be solved and how this can be bring it to the level of prototype and then probably to the product level. Because academia doesn't most of the time not interested in developing the products. The product is always done by the industry. So that's how, the connection between the industry now with academia, particularly with the students. This is a very good idea, and I'm sure, in the last 3 editions, many problems were solved and it has, been implemented. So this is also an opportunity for our engineering students to solve, come out with ideas for different problems, and also they will come to know what, that this age itself, what is the type of problems, what are the major problems that India is facing. Otherwise, most of the time they confine to their regular, learning, because in academia, most of the time we are imbibing the conceptual knowledge rather than tangible skills. Because these skills, that can happen only in the industries. So that's the reason why this is a very, very important event. I am glad that, the MIT is one of the nodal centers. Of course, in the past also they were the nodal centers, and they were, I think they were given some 23 teams, that they will be evaluated by the industrial mentors. So in that contest, I would like to congratulate MIT. Let them continue to do this in future also. According to me, there are major 3 pressing problems India currently facing. Of course, there are many other problems, but I am sure if you take care of these 3 problems, the rest of them will be at least, if not fully, partly sorted out. The first one is skill development and employment for future workforce. This is important because the current, whatever, the changes that are happening, it's quite fast. So one needs to reskill their, whatever skill that they have. By 2022, an estimation shows that 50% of our workforce has to be reskilled. If you don't do that, they will become obsolete. They will not be employed. So that is the kind of situation we have. So how this can be taken, and seriously and reskill them? What is the way? What is the innovative way? What is the idea, by which we can do this without any difficulty? Another problem is about the jobs. Most of the jobs are in the informal economy. In the formal economy, it's very less. About 20% is only in the formal economy. How this informal economy, because these are not monitored and these are not, there's no tax as such, and how this informal economy can be brought to the formal economy so that, more and more jobs can be created, and also the lot of resources will be available to the government. And of course, the government of India is not keeping quiet as such on this problem. Way back in 2015 itself, they have started Skill India mission. This is the campaign, Skill India campaign. So they have started this. This is also showing some, the progress, but it needs to, take it further. This is possible only if you come with some ideas how this can be effectively implemented. The second one is, it's very important, that is socio-economic inclusion of rural India. You might have heard, there is a lot of, the exodus from the population from rural to the urban area. By 2030, the estimated 40% of the population of India will be in the urban area. There will be huge pressure on the infrastructure and, the problem of water, air pollution, and wastewater management. All these problems will come if you don't stop the movement of that, or if you don't arrest the movement to the extent possible. How that is possible? You must come out with some ideas, because rural India needs basically the physical connectivity, like, the weathered road, or maybe, the electricity, water. These are the things very much essential. Added to that, also rural India needs the digital connectivity. That is where we are facing the problem. Suddenly we were moved from, the offline to online kind of learning. but you know, the rural India is facing a lot of problems because they don't have good digital connectivity. So this is very, very important. Again, the present government is very, you know, the aggressive in that sense. They started Digital India campaign. So I'm sure over the years, coming years, the campaign will be very successful. The idea is to see that, you know, the faceless, paperless, and cashless. So this is what, you know, the Digital India is looking for. I'm sure the young minds like you, some of you can come out with some ideas how this can be implemented in rural India. The last one, the third, the most, again, the important one is the healthcare services. So today, the healthcare services, you know that, you know, all are aware of it, how difficult, you know, particularly for poor people, getting a healthcare services at an affordable price, how this can be done. So the address here is that, you know, even if you look at the available doctors, for one doctor, you know, we have a population of something like 1,800, which is much higher than what is the minimum prescribed by WHO, which is 1:2,000. So how we can address this, and also, you know, how we can take care of, you know, the health of the poor people, as well as even the, you know, the people who are at this middle level, how they can be given the affordable and easily accessible healthcare services. So again, Government of India has started, you must have heard of it, the Ayushman Bharat. This is a very, very important concept wherein the poor people, you know, they will get the healthcare services the free of cost. And also even the people who are, you know, the middle level also will be given certain concessions. So this is the concept. This has been floated, but only thing is it has to be executed. There will be a lot of challenges how technology can be bring so that, you know, this can be, you know, easily implemented and effectively monitored also. So these are the three problems I am sure if you can tackle, and rest of the things which are probably political or whatever it is, it can be sorted out. I've taken only the political, you know, the problems. So I wish all the best for all participants who are here. You know, online you are going to solve the problems. And also I thank the MIT administrators for, you know, giving me an opportunity. And also thanks to the chief guest of today's. I heard that he is from civil engineering. He has passed out in 2012. And I'm sure, I don't remember now whether I taught because there will be more than one sections. I think only Ashish can tell. Thank you very much. Thank you one and all.
Thank you very much, sir, for your insightful talk. It was a pleasure to listen to. With that, may I now request the guest of honor, Dr. UC Niranjan, the Director of Research, Manipal.net Private Limited, Manipal, to deliver the speech.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and dignitaries of this inaugural function of Smart Hackathon India. I'm indeed very happy to participate in this inaugural function of the 4th edition of Smart India Hackathon, which is being held in 2020 at the Nodal Center of MIT Manipal. We see around us that mankind has been pushed to difficult times because of this pandemic COVID-19. But at the same time, it is heartening to see that the humanity is braving these challenges posed by this pandemic by its diverse collective efforts. One such courageous effort, I should say, is the Smart India Hackathon, which has gone online this year. This is enabled by the latest tech marvels, which has become part and parcel of our lives, such as digitalization, internet, cloud computing, and so on. If you look at the history of India, science and technology has indeed played a major role in the raise of the standard of living which has been witnessed by all of us here in India. Be it Nehruvian socialistic temples of modern India model or Sri Narasimha Rao's privatization and liberalization policies, or Honorable Prime Minister Modi's Atmanirbhar Bharat crusade or Abhiyan. These landmark decisions have propelled India as today world's third largest tech ecosystem of 30,000 startups, with more than 100 cities having incubation center, acceleration centers, and 600 million digital population. Manipal is the fruit of the toil and perseverance of our visionary founder, late Padma Shri Dr. T.M.A. Pai. Manipal today is an international university town whose alumni have spread far and wide, and I see among the dignitaries today here, many of them are alumni from MIT Manipal. And today, the Mahe University has world-class laboratories, incubation centers, and startup culture. I'm really happy to note that Dr. T.M.A. Pai, who was an entrepreneur by himself, had touched upon all the three important aspects which our Honorable Registrar covered in his inaugural speech. He did cover the skill development by starting so many schools and the university, healthcare, and he offered Kasturba Medical College and all the medical universities which are spread all over the world today, and empowerment of the common people and the rural people. It is commendable that the previous versions of Smart India Hackathon have sprung up many startup companies. This is what I heard from the AACT chairman and also Dr. Deshpande of Goa in one of the talks which was held up as a prelude to this Smart India Hackathon. The AACT, Government of India, have left no stones unturned in making this fourth edition of SIH successful. The numbers itself speak. The measure of collaborative attempt that the AACT and the Government of India has put in, namely the 240 problem statements, 40 nodal centers spread all over India, and 100 student teams. Probably, I think we can call this as Tech Kumbh Mela of India. I'm confident that the next cycle of India's economic development, be it gross domestic product or skilling the population, would be driven by the small and medium enterprises and the startups of India. With emphasis on innovation and empathy towards the lowest strata of the society, the young entrepreneurs should be able to make India an equitable, just, and an inclusive nation. I thank the organizers for the honor given to be part of this inauguration session. I wish all the participants, students, and stakeholders of this Smart India Hackathon 2020 all the very best and success. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful speech as the guest of honor. Ladies and gentlemen, we have amongst us the Deputy Manager, Strategy and Innovation, Deloitte India, Dr. Ashish Nayan, who is also the alumnus of MIT Manipal, as the chief guest of this inaugural ceremony. May I request Dr. Somashekar Bhatt, Associate Director, Development, MIT Manipal, to introduce today's chief guest.
Good morning, everybody. This is Somashekar Bhatt. I have pleasure in introducing today's chief guest, Dr. Ashish Nayan. Dr. Nayan is from Ranchi. He did his BTech in Civil Engineering from Manipal Institute of Technology, Manipal, in the year 2012. Followed by this, he obtained his PhD from Nanyang Technological University, Singapore, with a scholarship from the government of Singapore. After PhD, he worked as a postdoctoral research fellow in the National Research Foundation, Government of Singapore till 2016. In 2016, he moved back to India and served as an expert for the Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, Government of India till 2019. In this mission, his key roles were national level program strategy design and execution, government affairs management for center and states, public policy, and advocacy. As of now, he works with Deloitte Shared Services India as a deputy manager, strategy and innovation. His present role involves innovation strategy, process optimization, startup ecosystem, and advocacy. He has many publications in reputed international journals. With this brief introduction, I present to you today's chief guest, our own alumnus, Dr. Ashish Nayan. Over to you, Ashish.
Thank you so much, sir. And a very, very hearty and warm good morning to Team MIT, Team MAHE, and Team India. And what we are seeing today is the perfect example that pandemic is nothing and nothing can do us apart because we have technology to leverage and everything is possible. And trust me, it's a proud moment as an alumnus to be part of this prestigious event at Manipal. And I sincerely and humbly congratulate the entire MAHE family for their brilliant efforts, which led to MAHE being a nodal center for such a great and prestigious event by the Government of India. And of course, rightly so, being one of the most innovative campuses in the country with some spectacular global footprint through its campuses, through its alumni, and of course, the Institute of Excellence that the nation itself prides on. So thank you so much for having me here, and it's a great homecoming. And I really thank you all for having me here at this event. For sure, the Smart India Hackathon is the largest open innovation event that the world has been seeing since last 3 years, and presents the simple philosophy, Team India to solve for India. And such an experiment, such an initiative was not taken earlier. And this specifically helps solve India's smallest to biggest problems by leveraging the smart minds of innovators. And that is India's own citizens and India's youth. Since 2017, we have seen 10 lakh students engaged in this competition with over 1,800 problem statements. I was just looking at some of the stats on the website, and it's just spectacular to see the momentum this event has gained and the traction that it has achieved over the last 3 years. Today, I am aware that there are 23 teams here working on 6 problem statements. And friends, I'll just take some minutes to share some very simple thoughts with you and whatever I know and whatever I have learned over the years. Trust me, this event is the perfect opportunity for you to ideate, to collaborate, and then innovate. Please use these 3 days very productively to further your innovation mindedness. I just heard Professor Sabahit, Registrar MAHE, speak about the challenges of moving technology and innovation from lab to field, and very rightly so. That is a challenge, that was a challenge, but thanks to the efforts and initiatives by the Government of India and our Honorable Prime Minister himself, we have so many new programs now, which include the Smart India Hackathon. We have the Agni program by the Principal Scientific Advisor. Then we have the Prime Minister's Research Fund. Along with that, so many other programs and efforts being put by so many stakeholders, Team India, to make sure that good products, good innovations, good technologies make that shift from lab to field. And SIH presents that opportunity to you at this young age. I feel jealous of you because I never got this opportunity. So I want you to make the most out of this opportunity. And a platform like MAHE to experiment with the infrastructure that it has to innovate at such a campus is the perfect way you can utilize these 3 days. And it's a grand finale. I'm sure you have gone through a lot of churning, your ideas have matured, and you are in the in a phase where you want to push this idea from alpha to beta, hopefully in the next few weeks or months. So my best wishes to you. And trust me, over the years, whatever in my few close to 10 years of professional experience spanning from research to R&D to government and now in the consulting private sector, I have learned and internalized a very simple definition of innovation. Thanks to all the efforts, innovation is no more a special word. Everybody speaks innovation, everybody wants to learn about innovation, everybody uses innovation in their day-to-day lingo. And I have internalized a very simple definition, which is, which everybody can embrace. And that is, it's any strategy or step that you take or your company takes to solve a very simple or a complex problem in an easy, cost-effective, and hopefully a profitable way. Anything that you can do from the small eye of innovation, which is improvement, to the large eye of innovation, which is an invention. All of this is going to help you do so many good work, so much of good for the community, for the society, and for the nation. So never think that it's only this that is called innovation, and if I do this, perhaps I do not pass the metrics of being an innovator. No, please do not think so. Don't get chained by certain thoughts or what you have heard. Anything and everything that you can see as an improvement to an invention comes under the garb, go for it. And I would like to tell you 3 things that you would want to focus on in the next few weeks, months, years in your journey as an innovator. First, and the most important, please work on the right mindset. And it's the first thing that you would want to internalize and nurture within yourself and as all ourselves is the right mindset, which means, do I become a startup if I have to become an innovator? No. We become innovative for ourselves. If we become innovative, we start conducting our own responsibilities, our work, our daily job, our work for the society, our conversation with parents, our conversation with families, everything in a optimized, in a very, very productive way that creates value. So the first thing is you help yourself. And of course, if you go on, you have a startup and that's a byproduct of your being innovative. But never think that until I have a startup, I will not be called an innovator. Not at all. Please do not have this thought. There should be absolutely no fear of failure. Failure is good. Of course, when we are studying, when we are in colleges, there are certain metrics that we have to pass. No, I'm not saying that you should, compromise on that. But when it comes to real innovation, please understand, please fail as many times because every failure is teaching you something, and go ahead with those learnings from where you failed. Second, after mindset, the second most important thing which we tend to miss because we think that if we are good at technology, we are good at coding, we are good at putting things together, perhaps we'll be able to make it big. No, thankfully, sadly, no, rather. You need to have the right people and networking skills today. You know why? Because today the world is so complex, the problems are so complex, and it's not possible that one person or a small team can have all the skill sets and the know-how to solve a problem that can create value for society and hence the customers and hence the market. So please get into this mindset that you will need to integrate the skill sets. You will need to collaborate with the wider community and maybe your own competitors, because you need them to put those blocks together, which will end up in a comprehensive solution that creates value. So after mindset, the second thing is the right people and networking skills. And of course, not the least, but of course, resources. And by resources, majorly funding. So today, as all our professors just said, we have amazing infrastructure right from the central to the state level. You have universities, you have incubators. In those universities, there are schemes, there is Startup India, incubators from Niti Aayog, states having their own startup policies. There is a lot of funding. The venture capitalist network in India is very much energized. So there are so many institutions, networks, and people that help you take away the risk from your idea. And therefore, the possibility and the chances of your idea becoming a reality in the form of a startup, in the form of a company, is much higher today than what it was 3 to 4 years ago, my friends. And thankfully, because of this, today India is a flourishing ecosystem. We are the third largest innovation ecosystem with 50,000 startups and more and growing. And over the last 3 years, if you see across sectors, we have been having so many startups. Of course, a lot of them fail, but that's how it works but we never know the story, what that innovator did after his first startup failed. We never cover that, right, in the newsprint. But trust me, many of those come back with the second startup, and that is then that they make it big, and many of them become unicorns. And I really am hopeful I would see a unicorn from some of the innovations that are participating in this SIH at MAHE. Please use this opportunity today. These are different times. Of course, it's not the best of the times that you could be thinking of participating in this event amidst the pandemic, but it gives you the opportunity that you work on your sciences, on your basics of your business model, your technology. Please ideate, experiment extensively on the POCs, prepare for your prototype and the pilot, make the right networks. Please be strategic. Wait for the next 6 months and see how it pans out. And perhaps you are in a much more matured way, you would be approaching the right people. So please use this time to do your research. And this is the opportunity where many startups that I speak with are working on repurposing their products or technologies to suit specific use cases, because this new normal has changed the way we work and changed the way we operate. So there are new use cases being provided by the government, by the corporate sector. So please keep thinking as you mature on your own products, keep thinking how you could perhaps utilize the thoughts and the products that you had and repurpose it to suit the new needs, because thriving is the only option, and you will thrive with a good mindset. And this is the way everybody is doing. We see startups which were making robots now making ventilators, right? We now see startups in agri sector now making face masks. So if they can do, even we can do. So do not think that perhaps our thought process has been challenged by the pandemic. I tell you, the pandemic can never be a hurdle to your innovation mindedness. So please work on these things. And as we work as Team India, from the center to the states to the universities, and all of us coming together to collaborate, we are contributing to the larger clarion call that our Honorable Prime Minister gave of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Atmanirbhar Bharat is such a wide thought process which united and unified the entire country across sections of society, across sectors, to solve for India. The Prime Minister says local. So basically, when he means local, I derive the definition as you might need to collaborate with your local, which could be a competitor. Why? Because we want to outsmart someone at the global level. So this is this collaboration, even with your competitor at your local, to outsmart at the global. And how? Not just quantity, with quality. And quality comes from innovation and this thought process, which I have been speaking to you about. So please go ahead, go for the kill. And of course, you will end up winning on the global platform. And that's what I think all of us are here to support you. And this is frankly the best time to innovate in India. Never have I seen in the last 15 years a better time to come up with innovation, to propose innovation to somebody, to innovate in India. And this is the best time you can utilize these resources, these thoughts, these opportunities to expand your thought process, to create new solutions with all the right intentions and right people with you there to support you. So wish you a wonderful grand finale ahead. It's been great to speak to you, and thank you so much to the MIT MAHE family for inviting me to be part of this event. There's nothing better and nostalgic for an alumnus to come back to the university and speak at such a great event. So thank you, and really humbled by this opportunity. Wish you a great 3 days of finale, and please do let me know however I can support. I'm always there for you, and we'll be looking ahead to support you in your innovation journey in the times to come. Thank you so much, sirs. Thank you so much, MAHE and MIT family, for having me here. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ashish Nayan, for this wonderful speech.
Great talk.
Thank you.
I'm sure the participants are truly motivated having listened to you. Respected dignitaries and dear participants, as we come to the end of the inaugural session at the Nodal Center, and before proceeding with the central virtual inauguration, I request Dr. B.H.V. Pai, Joint Director, MIT Manipal, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Suhas. Good morning to each one of you. On behalf of the organizing committee, Smart India Hackathon 2020 here at MIT Manipal, I take this opportunity to thank the chief guest of this morning's function, Dr. Ashish Nayan, Deputy Manager, Strategy and Innovation, Deloitte India, a very highly distinguished alumnus of MIT. Ashish, thank you so much for being there this morning online, the pandemic notwithstanding. So it's always a pleasure to note for every teacher to feel very, very gratified, very, very happy to see that their student is doing so well for himself, doing so much for the country. Thank you, Ashish, for the wonderful talk that you gave. Probably the very important takeaway from your speech is that the piece of advice that you gave to all our young innovators, that never be afraid to fail. So this, I'm sure that our innovators who are going to put in their brains, the best brains in the country today, are going to take a leaf out of your own very example that you have set to ensure that they do well for themselves. The pandemic is not going to be a hurdle. Thank you, Ashish, and I take this opportunity on behalf of all of us here at the organizing committee for extending a heartfelt thanks to you. So, guest of honor, our registrar of the university, Honorable Dr. N. Sabahit, for your tremendous support, sir, in all our endeavors. Thank you very much for your excellent speech this morning. Dr. U.C. Niranjan, Director of Research, Manipal.net Private Limited, Manipal. Sir, you have always been there with us for all such technical functions. Please continue to support us. We'll need your continued cooperation and support, sir. Coming to our very own beloved director, Dr. D. Srikant Rao. Sir, thank you very much for your welcome address. It's no secret that you're the backbone for all such activities here at MIT Manipal. Thank you so much, sir. Professor Somshekhar Bhatt, Associate Director Development, and Professor Zubair, Assistant Director Development. Thank you very much for introducing the guests as well, the chief guest as well as the guests of honor. I also thank all the industry professionals, the mentors, and the members of the organizing committee, the single point of contact, Dr. Sucheta, Dr. Vidya Rao, Dr. Ramkrishna, Professor Raghavendra, and the Master of Ceremony, our own Suhas MV, and all our associate directors and HODs and faculty, and team Smart India Hackathon, who have worked in the background, who never come in limelight, but work very hard in ensuring that event of this magnitude goes without any hitches. Thank each one of you, and let's have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for this vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, the further proceedings of the inaugural function will be carried on live from the YouTube, scheduled at 9 a.m. We request everyone to kindly connect to the YouTube channel, for which the link has already been provided. Meanwhile, we play a short video about MIT. Kindly be connected. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you so much. And Niranjan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Great pleasure to be here. Thank you.
ಅದು ಎಂತ ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ಬರ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. ಬೇಡದಿದ್ರೆ ಬೇಡರಿ, ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳಿ.
Technology, it's transforming lives every day and in every way. But learning technology through hands-on experiences is what enables you to create different things, build different structures, and move things in different ways. And one institute which has been striving to make technology education experiential for more than 60 years now is Manipal Institute of Technology.
It is way back in the year 1957 that our founder, Dr. TMFI, founded this great institute, Manipal Institute of Technology. Today, we have undergraduate programs being offered here and post-graduation offered in almost all spheres of engineering disciplines. So the syllabi of any engineering discipline is changed as per the requirement of the industry, and the students here undergo what is called as experiential learning.
What creates the necessary academic foundations for experiential learning? Students here are encouraged to solve real-world problems with various student-driven clubs.
Manipal Institute of Technology does not only believe in learning what is taught by our teachers, but instead believes in what the student wants to learn on their own. A major aspect of this is the student clubs.
We tend to learn a lot of things from these projects and clubs. First of all, we learn hands-on experience. We are working practically on a project and not theoretically studying a subject. And secondly, what is required in the market is that a student should have technical skills as well as soft skills, which you get to learn from this project.
The online learning platforms have been gaining ground everywhere. Our students have taken online courses in a very big way. And Coursera is one very important platform which our students have been very much drawn to.
An opportunity to pursue research plays a critical role in developing students' capabilities. Dedicated infrastructure, experienced faculty, and financial assistance from the university comes a long way in this pursuit.
In MIT, there are various research programs which are funded by industries and government funding agencies. Students who are working in these funded projects can also apply for PhD programs. To fulfill the dreams of future researchers, MAHE provides scholarships to a number of students every year. In addition to this, the students are given various opportunities to present their papers in conferences, and the university provides financial support.
Sports and cultural activities are vital for holistic development of a student. And we have created an ecosystem for students to excel in their passions.
Our college offers a lot of other non-academic opportunities and platforms for us. We have Marina near our campus, which is the sports complex where we can go and practice a lot of sports. We also have different cultural clubs. These clubs not only participate within the college, but also go and participate in different national cultural fests.
The exceptional placement record is a reflection in itself of the industry's trust in Manipal's quality of students.
MIT offers plethora of placement opportunities. We are coming up with a centralized online placement portal whereby our students will be trained, and it will provide an environment as conducive as how a company conducts its online test here. We have further plans to introduce mock group discussions as well as mock interviews, which will help our students to be prepared for their actual interview rounds. In context of entrepreneurship, MIT goes with the slogan of ideate, innovate, and incubate, whereby our students' ideas are turned into reality at our incubation center. Also, we have Idea Cafe, whereby students can share their ideas, and university helps them depending upon the viability and implementation to help the students to take those ideas into the market.
With a wide range of programs and open electives to choose from, and nearly 100 plus technical and cultural clubs to be a part of, with more than 90% placed in core companies and some of the highest salaries offered in the industry, and with students coming from around the globe, and more than 50,000 plus strong alumni spread across the world. Come, be a part of the university which is constantly ranked among top private universities in India. Experience engineering and technical education at Manipal Institute of Technology.
When you come into Manipal, you get to see basically a plethora of clubs. So there's technical and non-technical clubs. If you really have that competitive drive and you want to participate in these international competitions or just really deepen your technical knowledge, you always have these student projects.
I've always had this fascination for aircrafts and aerospace engineering. And when I heard about the student project Aero MIT at Manipal, I thought, okay, this is the place I want to go to.
When I landed up over here, I heard about Motor Manipal, which is about bikes, and that is truly my passion. As a budding engineer, getting to work on a bike, especially an electric bike, which is the future, was an opportunity I could not miss.
So we started off with the autonomous car. Manus branded itself as an artificial intelligence robotics club. So I thought, why not? Let's see what it has.
With my time at Motor Manipal, I've learned the ins and outs of how to make a chassis, how to design a swing arm, how the design software work. So that I think has given me a practical edge over everybody else.
In our classroom, we are just taught how to design, but in student projects, then you actually have to manufacture it. Here, since we have to build it, we have to keep in mind that our design is practical and actually feasible.
We as a team build the plane from scratch. Initially, sometimes when we fly it, it crashes. And after repairing, when it flies, or we test another iteration out and it flies really well, you feel this sense of achievement, like you've done something really good.
Here at Manas, there's a family where you're not afraid to fail, and they let you grow beyond yourself.
So right now the car can perform lane driving pretty effectively. So we use state-of-the-art deep learning techniques to get obstacles and basically label what they are.
We assembled the entire bike, we put it up on the stand, and it ran butter smooth. Then the time came to actually ride it. So everybody was scared because since nobody has ever ridden it, can it actually do it? Then we took it out, we pulled it as soon as it accelerated. It was the best moment of my life.
I personally work on drones, and the first time I managed to fly a drone, that was one of the best experiences in my life. Our team's been participating in RC modeling competitions for over 10 years now. This year was one of our most successful years. In the SAE Aero Design competition held in the US, we placed 5th in the world, the best Indian team in that competition. And we blew our Indian competition, our Asian competition by a mile.
Secondly, we took this bike to our first Indian circuit, the Asian e-bike competition. We just went there just to learn. And once we went there, we actually ended up with 4 prizes, which was a huge deal for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we conclude the inaugural session at the Nodal Center MIT. I kindly request you all to join online on the YouTube. The link for the same is sih2020.sh.gov.in. Thank you one and all.